All right, good morning, professionals you trust. I'm going to keep my intro short so that you get the length of the video that I'm sharing today. When we're going into a Monday, I don't want to miss that motivational punch that is so recognizable as part of this group. And so this is a video that I've been actually watching multiple times. It has to do with insurmountable challenges. I'll leave it there until the end of the video. But one thing I do want to mention is this particular homesteader. She's a stay-at-home mom of 4. And so her homesteading is how she feeds her family. So it's definitely on the level of how we look at our businesses. She does mention a couple of religious things in here, but go ahead and look at it with a secular view and look at it for the challenge story that it is. And with that, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Everybody see it okay? Okay, I'm going to leave it a little smaller because I'm going to mess with the timing. Here we go.
Tania, you want to hit optimize? Oh, here we go.
Just always keeps you on your toes. I was out here just yesterday and I noticed that my potatoes looked like they were getting eaten by something. And we have never had potato bugs here in the past. I thought, well, maybe it's potato bugs and we're actually getting them this year. I looked down at my plants and there were no potato bugs, but they were covered with beetles. And I had to go and look in my book to discover what kind of beetle this was. And it's called the striped blister beetle. So I grabbed a bucket of water, I put some soap in it and went through all of the plants and tried to shake them off into that bucket of water. I got a ton of beetles off, and doing that again today. I'm probably going to be doing that until the potatoes are done for the year. They did a pretty significant amount of damage already, but luckily the damage is foliar and not below ground. So the potatoes underground, I'm hoping, are still good. You know, even if they killed off the plants, we would still get potatoes, just not as many. I feel like I got a lot of them off of there, maybe the majority, but now I'm finding that there are blister beetles on my Brussels sprouts and they're defoliating those, and they're on my tomatoes now. This is a way worse problem than the tomato drainage thing. I didn't realize it could get worse, but it has gotten worse. Oh, it's so frustrating. Homesteading is not for the faint of heart. I'm outside and I'm gonna be putting buckets and plant containers on my Brussels sprouts because they're gonna get eaten overnight if I just leave them as is. So I'm trying to protect them from the blister beetles.
We've all pulled late nights, but this is excessive.
So this is how they defoliate the plant so much. They just all swarm together. These are my peppers. I knew they were gonna get here sometime. I'm glad I checked. I'm trying to get those off. I have spent so much time the last couple of days trying to remove pests from the garden that I'm way behind on other things like weeding and preserving. I'm trying to get caught up today, but I did want to give you guys an update on the blister beetle situation.
Washington State homeowners, you are going to want to check this out. As of August 16th.
So 2 days ago was when the beetles were so bad. They were just this is when they had spread to all over my garden. They were on my Brussels sprouts and my tomatoes and my peppers, and I just couldn't catch them all. I spent from 9 o'clock at night to midnight trying to shake them off into buckets, and it was really difficult to get the low-lying plants into a bucket, so I had to hand pick the beetles off of there. And then the tomatoes are so bushy that it was hard to get them in there. And I came inside, I was exhausted from everything, just like mentally exhausted. I was physically exhausted from like constantly like bending over and trying to get them off. And I started to cry and was just really frustrated. And Cameron was like, we just need to pray because you have done everything that you could in your power to get those off, but we need to ask for help for God to do the rest. And so we prayed that night, and I came out. So I came out the next day, and there were no beetles, like anywhere on this side of my garden. And I saw this frog there, and I was like, wow, like I think this frog is eating all of my beetles. Then on the other side of the garden, I was checking and checking. I was like, there's no way that they could have just like disappeared. They have to have moved. And so I found them on my potatoes. They had just all clustered there. It allowed me to be able to get them all off all at once, as opposed to being scattered everywhere. So I did the same process. I took my bucket.
So I'm going to stop the share there and use the last couple seconds here to show that, again, not religious in any way here, but what I wanted to share is that we don't know everything. And isn't that an amazing thing to go against these insurmountable challenges with? That she had one method that maybe I wouldn't have chosen for my garden. She wasn't having success with it. She tried everything she had in her wheelhouse, but then nature had a thought, natural predators coming in and congregating those to make it a more manageable problem. So not the solution she was looking for, but it was one of the solutions that were presented that she wouldn't have been able to figure out in the beginning. So as we tackle things that we feel are insurmountable, I thought that that would be a really good thing to revel in, not just this week, but moving forward, knowing that we don't know it all. And that's such a great thing. So I'll leave you with that.